Welcome back, cowards. It's been a rainy and cloudy week in Brisbane, which means your boy needs some comfort food. So I've come to a place where the vibe is just as important as the menu. This is the Cuzzies Cafe.
Tucked away on a quiet street in North Brisbane, owner Crystal opened the Cuzzies Cafe to create connections through food, family and friends. Immigrating from her home country of New Zealand with her 7 kids, she worked tirelessly to keep the business running throughout the pandemic and ensure she could keep the restaurant's spirit alive. A sense of community is important to Crystal, and she regularly runs whānau days where everyone comes together to eat, shop, sing and enjoy each other's company. Today, the Cuzzies Cafe serves up Brisbane's finest island food with people travelling from all over to get a taste of home or to try something new. We're here to try one of the most iconic island dishes in history, the hangi. Since the earliest days of Māori settlement in New Zealand, the hangi has been used as a cooking method for large groups and gatherings. Typically consisting of pork, mutton, chicken and vegetables, the ingredients are laid in a dug pit on top of hot stones or coals from a fire. Various coverings are used so that the meats and vegetables smoke and steam simultaneously for hours. This results in juicy meats with subtle but deep flavours of the earth.
Alright, cowards, we have the most insane island spread here. We have a boil up. I'll explain all of these in more depth as I eat them. Some cream power, some fry bread, and of course, the hangi. Perfected over thousands of years, now we have some on our plate for all of you cowards to experience. We're also going to wash it down with a New Zealand soda, which is an L&P. I've never tried it before. That's what we're going to kick things off with. Ooh, that's awesome. I was kind of expecting it to be like a lift or a solo, like a lemonade kind of flavor, but it's really more similar to almost like a lemon lime and bitters or like a Mountain Dew. It's super sweet, really smooth. I'm going to definitely buy that next time I see it in the shops because I've seen it before and I've always passed on it, but that is really good. So I think the first thing we're going to try for the food is the fry bread, which I'm pretty sure is exactly what it sounds like, just deep fried bread, which sounds incredible. I see these big islander boys walking around, and if the reason that they're such big islander boys is because of fry bread, I don't blame them at all. This is one of the most insane fried things I've ever eaten in my life. It's so fluffy. It's got that nice sort of oily taste on the outside, but not really an oily texture. It's like the ultimate comfort food. It's like when you're at a restaurant and like an old lady calls you like darling or baby and you're like all warm and fuzzy inside. That's what this is in a bite. So we're gonna try some of this creamed power, which is like an abalone. It's a mollusk from the ocean. It's a very expensive ingredient, so I'm really glad we get to try it. It's just creamed here with some cream, I would assume. Oh wow, that's also incredible. It's got some onion in there. Not a very seafoody flavor, which is good. Doesn't really taste of the ocean, but you do get that little bit of sort of almost like a mussel. Man. This food is just so good. I think I'm going to dip a little bit of the fry bread into creamed power. That is like, it's like Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen. Whatever the best duo you can think of, that's it. So just before we move on to the hangi, we're going to try this boil up. So essentially, Crystal boils down pork until you get that really rich, really thick broth. Then she puts these little dumplings in there just to soak up some of the juices. You've got watercress and some veggies. So we're going to try one of these little dumpers. Straight away, even without any of the meat, you can taste so much of the savory flavor from how long she's boiled down these bones. You can see all the meat and the fat just easily coming off there and how rich that broth is that it's sitting in. It's got a little bit of the meat here. It seriously just melts. Really no chewing required at all. If you've got dentures or you have to eat without teeth, you gotta come here and get the boil up because everything is so soft. Cooked for so long, the flavors are so strong. This is easily one of the best meals we've had on the channel so far. If I could just do this every week and you guys would still love it, this is just what I would do. I would just travel around finding delicious and peculiar foods and eating them. Let's have a little bit more of this cream power in the fry bread. Let me live. So now we arrive at the hangi. The hangi is cooked all together over the coals. Here we've got some chicken from the hangi. It's covered in this sort of, almost like a stuffing. I assume it probably is a stuffing. So we're gonna try that first. I don't really know what's in it. Come on, man. Everything is just so good. I'm about to be the size of a big Islander boy at the end of this meal because I'm gonna finish every single bite. There's like rosemary, some little crispy bits, maybe some breadcrumbs, salt and pepper. It's just unreal. I would just eat this in like a bowl by itself. It doesn't need to come on top of the hangi. It can just come sold separately. Crystal, you can just sell this separately in small containers for me to take home and sprinkle over every other thing that I eat. So now we're gonna try this slow cooked traditional chicken hangi, cooked over the coals like it was for thousands of years. Oh, you can smell the smoke. It doesn't look smoked like something coming out of like an American style smoker, but you can smell that the smoke has just imbued all that flavor into it. There is nothing here except chicken, smoke, and just the pure like flavors of the fire. There's no fancy seasoning, there's no sauce, there's no crispy skin. It's just comfort. It's just like, it's what you want to bite into when it's rainy and it's cold and you've had a long day. The thing with all of this food is that it all takes so long to prepare. None of it's like, hey Crystal, I want to get a boil up. Okay, give me 5 minutes. All of this takes hours, days of preparation. She has to portion out the meats, she has to boil them or smoke them, then to put them on a plate, put it all together, do the vegetables, do the stuffing, fry this insane bread up. And you can tell because on the plate and when you speak to her, there's just so much love that goes into it. She said something that really spoke to me. She said that doing this makes her happy because she knows that no matter what happens, everyone is gonna leave here full, whether it's from the food or whether it's in their heart and their spirit. And I just think that's such an awesome way to look at things. You might come here, get a small meal just to try it, but you'll leave having made new friends, a new connection, or even just learning something about a culture that you didn't know that much about. And that's what I've done here today. So if you're ever in the area, if you're anywhere near Brisbane and you want to experience traditional island food that you definitely haven't tried before, you have to come to the Cuzzies Cafe. Crystal runs an insanely good restaurant, really doesn't get the appreciation it deserves, and I can't say enough about how good this food is. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've got lots coming up. Please make sure you like the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.